Okay, I'm going to put this cover plate on, and I have the little nut, and I like to use just a small little crescent wrench to tighten up that nut and get that on there. And hopefully we got enough room. And that's the other thing. They should make the threads just a hair further sticking out. Because you might think, oh, I can't get it, and then you push in just a little bit and you can barely get it. Once you get the threads started, you know, before you tighten it up, look at this, line it up. My pet peeve is always liking to make sure that the cover plates are straight. And sometimes you'll think the cover plate's straight and you go ahead and tighten it down, and then you stand back. Always stand back from your project later and look at it and see if it's straight. If you've got a crooked eyeball, somebody else comes in, hey Joe, you did a pretty good job, but the thing is crooked. My word, what did you do? You can always measure off the side. Here I'm measuring off the side of a window. Okay? And I'm making the assumption that the window is probably been installed plumb, and the trim is right up next to the window. And I can measure off to the edge at the top. That was 21, and down at the bottom it was just slight. That's right at 21, maybe just a hair over. And that's almost 21. So see, if anything, and this bottom needs to be pushed over that way. I just did it just barely. I'm right at 21. Okay. Now I can still look at this and see if it's lined up. This top trim may not necessarily be plumb. It looks pretty good. In fact, if anything, if I was a gambling man, I would say the bottom still needs to go that way, and I did it just a touch. Okay, now I can get my grubby fingers off the wall, put that on there, and get this lined up and tighten this down. Okay. Just remember, you've got a metal nut there on plastic threads. You only want to go snug as a bug in a rug. Okay, don't over tighten it and strip it or break the threads or have it twist and strip off, and now you can't tighten it up. Now you have to go to the store. And in fact, if you mess up the threads, you're pretty much AOL. You're screwed. AOL. Because on your timer, this is just plastic. So if you mess up those threads by over tightening, the next nut is going to loosen up too. And guess what? You're going to have to get another timer because you just messed up those threads. Nothing doing. I'm not going to do that. Okay. So now I know that's flat. I look on here, see it's flat, so I know that's facing up. The last thing you want to do is just put this on Mickey Mouse and not remember that, because guess what? If you really jerk on it and push it on, you might be able to fit it on another way. Especially here's the old one. Especially once these start getting worn, if this ever pops off, or if you have to take it off, you could put this on backwards and it might still fit, but then it's not going to be lined up properly. Okay, so what you got to do with this is hold it on there, feel it right there, and push like that. Get it on there straight and get it going. Okay, and we're going to try this out in a minute. Now we're ready to try this timer, but before we turn it on, let's remember to turn the breaker on. Got the breaker off. I got it back on. I should have power to this timer. Okay. Now I'm going to turn this on, and you have to turn it past an area. It says turn past. See here? Most timers, lots of them anyways, here's the off, and see here it says turn past. You have to turn it at least past 20 minutes or so for it to click on. If you only turn it on 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it may not turn on. Okay. I got to turn it at least to there. Okay, and because the air conditioner was already in the on position, kaboom, the air conditioner just went on. Okay, now should I have to wait, and let's say this is on an hour, should I have to wait an hour to make sure it goes off? I'm going to make the assumption this is a brand new timer. I might come back here after an hour or something, hour and a half, to make sure it's turned off. My guess is it's going to be, but make no mistake, just because just because you installed a timer, and Intermatic is a very good timer, by the way. I don't know what kind of timer is actually better than that. They are known to not last forever, especially if you have it in a rental condo that the timer gets used and abused throughout the year. If you're doing the timer for yourself, you're probably going to have better luck having it last longer, and be careful with it and all that kind of stuff. Okay? But just know, nothing lasts forever. So be aware of that, and if sometime down the road this happens to stop, chances are you're not going to call an electrician and have them try to fix a $28 timer. It's cheaper to go ahead and get a new timer and swap it out. Hey, you know how to swap it out now, and it's very simple, as I just showed you. Hey, I'm just an average Joe. If I can do it, of course you can do it. Well, that's it for this time. But I'll be back with more videos.